What's up, veterans? JB coming to you live. I am 100% permanent and total. Wow, man, I had an epiphany. I was just sitting here thinking, like, the VA invests a lot of money into the adjudication process. Again, this is money that you pay with your tax dollars. They invest a lot of money on doctors. They invest a lot of money on employees adjudicating your claim process, from the evidence intake center in Wisconsin to your regional office in every United States. Okay, so there's a lot of money. Not only that, but there's a lot of money with the hospital cost and doctors and nurses and but the whole system of the VA disability process. But veterans find it hard to invest one penny into their claim process to win tax-free money for the rest of their life. That's a free mentality. Veterans don't want to invest one red cent. They want everything for free, but the VA is investing a lot of money to keep you from getting your high-value claim. And all of the weight is based upon the evidence that you submit, because once that CNP examiner gets your evidence, they got two jobs to do: to examine you in a CNP exam, whether it's in person or through a telehealth exam, to make, number two, an opinion. Do an exam, give an opinion. That opinion is called a nexus. But that nexus, 9 times out of 10, are not in your favor. If you get connected from that CNP exam, it's normally a low ball rating or a denial. The VA rater receives it in the VBMS system on the evidence that they found from an examination, and all of the weight is over there with the CNP examiner. It's sort of like the heavyweight champion of the world at the time was Mike Tyson. Would you go in the ring with Mike Tyson with gloves on, or gloves without, or no gloves at all? I would not go in the ring with Mike Tyson either if I had gloves on. Because even with gloves on, that doesn't mean that you have the proper training. Am I correct? The sparring training, the training regimen you go to, jogging and all the type of stuff, you jump ropes and weightlifting. There's a process that you must go through to get in the ring with a heavyweight champion. Am I correct? And if that heavyweight champion is heavily financed by a major corporation or major organization, you should get your training on way before you submit one application. Am I right? JB, you're probably saying, what kind of training I need? You need training on the Code of Federal Regulations, which is the law that unlocks your tax-free money. Yes, that's the reason why our clients are having the success in the ring. New Life Veterans clients, they know the Code of Federal Regulations. They know the first element, the second element, the third element, the fourth element of the Code of Federal Regulations. They know that they gotta have a diagnosis. That's the easy part. They can go to a VA doctor or a non-VA doctor for the diagnosis. If you go to a non-VA doctor, you put that diagnosis in your claim packet. They know that we got to show an in-service event if we're filing for a direct service connection. Direct service connection means that it's in your service treatment records and you got the proof. They know a secondary service connection is something that was aggravated. They know the law when it comes to secondary service connections. They also know the third element, that a link or nexus has to be provided by law. They know if they roll the dice with the CNP examiner, it doesn't mean you're going to get the nexus or the rating that they deserve. New Life veterans, and I said that on purpose, as a different type of veteran when you're a New Life veteran, they know that not only that, the rating system is based upon severity. So they know that they need a DBQ, which is a disability benefits questionnaire, to document the level of severity for migraines, for example. To get the 50%, the symptoms have to be warranted. They have to meet the symptom requirement. Now, if you've been watching our training, you also know the law. Okay? You know that there's 4 elements of service connection instead of the 3 that's mentioned in the M21 adjudication manual. Because the 3 elements that's mentioned in the adjudication manual is diagnosis, in-service proof, secondary proof, and 3, medical nexus. It doesn't mention a whole lot about number 4, the severity. But if you don't get the doctors to document the severity, you won't get the rating of 50% for migraines. You may get 30%. And if you need a 50% to carry you over to get to 100, now you got a 30, you fell short by 20 points. So now you got to 2-step again and waste some more time to get a new evaluation or do a high-level review and argue the fact that your symptoms warrant a 50%. But if you got an awesome trainer in the ring to help you with boxing, you're not worried about the fight of the initial fight with the initial claim or a supplemental claim. You're not worried about the fight in the higher level review fight because your trainer has equipped you with the necessary skills to go through it all. That's the New Life Veteran System. I'm your trainer to help you go through your original claims, supplemental claims, higher level review claims. I will equip you as a trainer like in boxing. I would be like the trainer for Michael Jordan, the trainer for Kobe Bryant. Every last one of these great athletes had the proper training. Tim Grover was Kobe Bryant's trainer. But why did Kobe choose Tim Grover? Because Michael had Tim Grover. Michael Jordan, the greatest that ever lived, undisputedly, the only one that I could say is the GOAT, in my opinion, with the most championships, both sides of the floor, offensive, defensive. Come on, man. The GOAT had a trainer. He was gifted athletically through genetics, but he had to have the proper training. You could be gifted as well, listening to my video, but you still need the proper training. Kobe Bryant said, I want to be like Mike, and I want to pass them rings that Mike has. Kobe got 5 rings in the process. He never passed Michael Jordan in the rings, but he got 5. He's up on Mount Rushmore. Now, see, success leaves clues. If you want to be successful, you got to do what successful people do. The greatest lesson about Kobe Bryant is he admired Mike so much, in every move that Michael made, Kobe wanted to make. The fadeaway, the jump shot, the dunking, everything that Michael did, Kobe wanted to do. But Kobe had some knee issues. Kobe was fast, athletic like Mike, but he kept getting hurt. Kobe got tired of getting hurt. So he called up Mike on the phone and said, man, what are you doing to be injury-free? Well, I got a guy named Tim Grover. He been training me for 15 years. Kobe said, put me on the phone with him. They got on the phone, and Kobe hired him right away. See, Tim Grover was a non-employee trainer, not hired by the Chicago Bulls, not hired by the Los Angeles Lakers. You see, to be great, you got to do some unconventional things. They were hired out their own pocket. Michael Jordan paid this trainer, Mr. Grover, for 15 years out of his pocket. He knew what level of success he wanted to be. He wanted to set himself above and beyond every athlete on the floor. And he was going to back it up and say, I'm going to give him 40 tonight. Tell Dan Martin I'm going to give him 40. See, when you want to be at the highest level of your game, you got to understand what your competition is and what you need to do to rise above. And that calls for a trainer. And I hope you get this message today about your VA disability claim process and in life. If you want to be on Mount Rushmore, you got to do some Mount Rushmore things. You got to become Mount Rushmore-like. You got to become obsessive about your claim process. And see, when I was homeless, I was obsessive. People thought I was crazy. Studying law all the time. Oh, man, that's all you do is read the CFR. Man, just file your paperwork. No, I was obsessive. I needed to know the ins and outs. And if my intent to file was going to expire, oh well, let it expire. Let me get me another 12 months. That was my mentality. I went through a whole intent to file of 12 months, letting it expire, calling the VA up the next day, and getting a whole nother intent to file and waiting a whole nother 12 months, even though I had my diagnosis, I had my in-service, I had my medical nexus, all done within 4 months. I hope you get this message. Tim Grover was the same trainer that Michael Jordan had, and Kobe was smart enough to implement success. See, in school we're told not to copy. When you got the smartest person in your class, you were taught not to copy because it's considered cheating, right? Well, why is it in business, a business can copy another person's business model and execute better than them? Why is it that when Kobe wanted to be successful and win a bunch of awards, he had to copy the greatest of all time? So I hope you get this message today. If you want to get that highest value claim that you've been seeking all these years and failing at, you need to raise the bar, turn it up a notch, and get the trainer that you need to take you to the next level. And I hope you got enough out of this call, out of this video today, and it's going to inspire you to click the button below or the link, newlifeinsider.com. Let's do a consult and let's get you trained like Kobe Bryant. Talk to you soon.